Hello and welcome to the Renegade Gamers channel. I'm the Renegade Gamer, and today we're doing a video game review. I haven't done one of these in a while. This is Lunar 2, Eternal Blue. Now, one of the very first videos I ever did on my channel was Lunar, the Silver Star story. And I've always been meaning to get around to this one. Because while Silver Star story is a really good game, this one, in my opinion, is a lot better. And I just went through this game not too long ago. So, it's got a lot of better aspects to it. Now, a couple of things for note. This is a direct sequel to Lunar, Silver Star's story. Takes place exactly 1,000 years into the future. After all events that has occurred in the past. So, this is one of the very, very few RPGs that actually builds off of their previous entry in the series. It's also the... Ironically, Lunar 2 has kind of had a bad rap for quite some time. I don't know why. What I mean by that is that Lunar Silver Star story keeps getting remade constantly. I mean, that game's available on everything except the kitchen sink that I can think of. However, Lunar 2 does not. You can only own it either on the Sega Saturn or the PlayStation version, which is available, provided you can find a copy. Or maybe on Good Old Games or something like that. I'm not sure about that, but I do know. I have a physical copy. Now, working designs in their magnitude. When they released the game, of course, it was in a box set, and it came with a lot of nice little goodies with it, including a medallion, which unfortunately I don't have with me right now, but it was Lucia's medallion that you had, or that she wore around her neck. You'd have very nice piece. When I was married, I gave it to my wife because I thought it was just a really nice piece of jewelry. But it came with also some stand-up cards and of the characters themselves. And while we didn't get a cloth map like we did in the first game, we still did get a world map that just wasn't cloth made anymore. It was pretty much paper. We did still get the hard book novel, which I made. No, I guess I don't have it on board the trip. But it's a nice, decent hardback book, just like the first book of the game. So the goodies that came with it were awesome. Once again, working designs really went out of the way to package it with quite a few things. Of course, the price tag was about $70 at the time, and you're talking about the early, it came out right in about 2000. So you're looking at it's a pretty high price game for the time. Seeing as most games that came out during the time were still PlayStation and just the beginning of PS2 games. In fact, I don't think the Xbox was around. You had the Nintendo 64 at the time, which was usually the most expensive games, being $60, which is ironic considering nowadays your normal game is $60. But whatever. At the time when this game came out, $70 was a high price to ask. So anyway, let's get into it. What is Lunar about? Well, Lunar, like I said, is a direct sequel to the first game, set 1,000 years into the future. Where the first game starts off on Lunar itself, the second game does not. Your very opening cutscene starts off on the Blue Star. And it opens up on a crystal that's spinning around in a circle, and with a naked woman in there. And she wakes up, and she comes out and realizes something's wrong, completely naked, walking through the snow. Basically comes out and realizes something's wrong. She shouldn't have been woke up this early. Cut to Lunar, into the caves. We see Hero, Ruby running around, and archaeologist and area, and he basically explains who he is. He's Hero. This is Ruby, the dragon cat, and that he ends up going with his grandfather Gwen. They go to a Blue Dragon Spiral, and they meet up with Lucia from the Blue Star, the girl that was originally in the first part of the game. And from there, the story opens up, trying to figure out what. Oh yeah, Zophar comes in. He steals all Lucia's powers, and basically the game opens up from there of trying to get to Athena, because that's what she's there for. That's her mission. Now, for the early days of storytelling, this was a very in video games. And what I mean by that, in the 90s when this came out, Sega Genesis, Sega CD when this came out, this was probably one of the best told stories that came out at the time. It was the storyline in general is actually pretty dense, considering when it came out. What I mean by that is there's several themes that goes through this entire game, and they played through during the time it came out. It was kind of new. Now, obviously, I can't talk about Lunar without talking about one of the biggest themes that's brought into the game. That's religion. The entire religion of Athena is everywhere. Of this religious order that's come out, and it even has the four heroes are serving Athena. Each one of them represents a dragon itself, and it's interesting that I've seen a lot of corrupt religion stories, and this is by and far one of the most evil of all of them, in a way that's purposely done that way. What I mean by that is, like, take Breath of Fire 2, for instance. The evil religion story, you didn't even know the religion, the church was evil until the end of the game. But this game, it is right off the bat. No, this church is just evil. There's evil people in it. They're greedy. They want your money. They want you to serve them. You know, it's strictly black and white, no gray there. So it's a very interesting approach. It's just in your face. It's like, wow, this is so over the top. But they do stuff with it, and that's the great part about it. But that's not the central theme I want to talk about, really. Even though that is a strong theme without the game, basically the false religion of Athena versus the actual what Athena wanted in the end, of humans basically being able to take care of themselves versus her always having to take care of them. In other words, kind of she's not needed anymore. The will of the people are what is required. But like I said, that's not really the theme I want to discuss that much, because it's out throughout the game. It's very prevalent. But there's another theme of the game that is not as shown or talked about at all by anybody I've ever seen do a review, and that is the theme of mask. What do I mean by mask? Every single character, with one exception in this game, has a mask. They have a persona that they are putting forth. The only sole exception to this entire concept is Hero himself, your main character. But every other character in the game has this false persona that they put in front of them. Think about it. Ronfar, he puts out the gambler, basically wants to be with every single woman he gets his eye on, very laid back guy. However, in reality, he's not that way at all. He's actually one of the most loyal, down to earth, reliable people you'll ever meet. But that's not the persona he wants to put out, that you see. Jean comes off a lot of times as the happy-go-lucky fangirl, where in reality she has a very dark past and she's dealing with constantly trying to balance out or trying to come to terms with either being, I don't want to say hippie, peace lover. She wants to be, peaceful. She doesn't want to have to fight or anything else, versus what she has the ability to do. Lamina, she comes off as, greedy and always wants money and everything else, but in actuality, she's actually one of the most soft-hearted people that is out there. She's very caring, very, very interested in helping people, not just for cash. Nowhere does that come more apparent than Snowtown and in the oh shoot, what is it called? It's where you meet Null. I can't recall the place where you meet Null, where the kids are involved. Another area. Ruby puts out course 4. She puts out this huge the dragon. She puts out this huge persona. She says, "I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon." And she is a dragon, but she has that very much. I'm this. And in reality, I'm actually back here. She puts on the brave front. In actuality, she's not extremely that brave. Because she ain't figured out her footing. And even our main villain of the game has his own mask. It's even shown in the game as the final boss. You're literally fighting a mask with hands. But he's like, "I am all powerful. I am Zohar, master of yeah." And in reality, he's got his own fears and everything else he's got as well as anyone else. Even the false Athena has the same thing. Galleon's even putting forth a false mask. Literally, it's every single character in the game, except for one, and that's Hero. They're all doing it. And it really does add to their character development that goes throughout the game itself. All the heroes, all the villains, everybody that is named in the game, basically, has that. Sorry, I'm thirsty. And it's truly an interesting way that it's simple and yet effective throughout the game, because it's easy to see where all these people are coming from, easy to see why they are the way they are, and easy to see how they become the people that they do become. And it's one of the most, it's just very well done. I remember when I played this the first time, that was one of the main things I was impressed with. The amount of character development that each character got themselves. And truly was one of the most fascinating things in the game to me. Now, like I said, there's only one character in the game who doesn't receive that, and he doesn't hold a mask, and that is Hero himself. Now, you could argue Lucia is the same way, but I would argue it's not. She does have a false mask that she's holding because of what she knows that she has to do, and she keeps that from everybody. Instead, she keeps the naivety going on, which she is naive. Don't get me wrong, but she holds this in the background because she knows that she may have to destroy the world to destroy Zophar himself. There's a lot of great scenes in this game. There's a lot of great parts in this game. I love how all the characters have their own resolutions to all their little side stories, to all the stories that's going on. They're all integrated very well within the story itself. It's just really fantastic the way it's done. Now, of course, this is a remake, kinda, of the Sega CD version, and while it is a remake of the Sega CD version, it is, but it kept the core part of it, rewrote just small parts, and basically was able to keep strong into the PlayStation version. The battle system. Now, in the original Lunar Silver Star story, we had a very, very simplistic battle system. In this game, it has been revamped some. It's still a simple battle system. It doesn't take a lot to get into. Positioning is key a lot of times to your characters, and they also have expanded your inventory to basically everybody can get can use any of the items that you have. You can only just carry up to a certain amount of items, not on every single person. Whereas Lunar SCC, the original Lunar, every character could hold 6 items. I believe it's 6, maybe 7. This game, everybody has access to the entire inventory at all times. So, great. That was a pretty good update right there in the battle system. But they did add something else, and that is the crests. Now, crests are awesome. Basically, they are basically, I would say they're kind of like development tools in a way. You can literally edit your character to do things with them. You can equip a couple of crests here and basically make your character go first in line. You equip another set and they will attack and heal themselves at the same time. Or, there's a lot of stuff you can do with the crest. It was a great idea. It's well implemented. The only thing I don't like is that a lot of them are drops, so you kind of have to farm for them. That being said, the drop rate's not that bad in this game, so not a big deal. Also, some of the equipment you get in the game is, some of it's great, some of it's not. Some of them will literally make you go to sleep, and you heal HP, but you can't attack because you're asleep. But yeah, so awesome overall in that area. They really did update the battle system quite a bit. All the characters in the game are great when it comes to the battle system itself. Interesting thing about the battle system, though, through the entirety of the game, you always have 5 characters. Through the majority of the game, you only can control 4. The 5th one being Lucia herself, which she does get stronger as the game goes and opens up more abilities as the game goes. But it's only after certain major events. And when she's not in the party, you either have Mystery, or Leo who joins. And it's always great because you always have a character that can either heal you pretty good or a pretty good attacker. So, interesting idea they had going on there. You always had 4 characters in the party no matter what. The 5th character was the one that swapped in and out quite a bit. So, when you beat the game, you don't actually beat the game. We get to the final boss. We beat the final boss, Zohar. And then Lucia decides to go to the Blue Star. We enter the epilogue. Welcome to 6 additional dungeons. A pure, unmaliced hell to go through. They are very, very different dungeons themselves. Some of them just contain very, very insanely strong enemies. Others, like the one at the lake, are basically a screwed up maze to get through that constantly changes the screens as you're going through. What I want to say here is that all the dungeons are done very well. And you can go throughout the world and see all the changes in dialogue with everybody, see how things have gone on with all your NPCs. And you really do earn your happy ending in this game, because once you're able to acquire the second dragon eye that you need, you can go and reunite Hero and Lucia, which is great, because that's a really nice scene. It's a great ending to the game, and it just, I don't know, it's a great bookend to the very beginning. The music in this game is done by, I wrote the name down, so hopefully I don't murder it. Noriyuki Iwatare. Noriyuki Iwatare. We'll say that. And the music in the game is awesome. What you've been hearing in the background is Lunar 2's music this entire time. It's got some of my favorite songs on the track out there. Save this song. I don't care for this one that much. It's just straight up Dutch song, but whatever. But yeah, so we had a lot of new additions to the game. We've had a lot of, this was a really well done sequel that we didn't really get another one to. I know that there's another Lunar game. It's called Lunar Dragon Song, but from everything I read and all the things I've looked at and everything I've seen of the game, I honestly have no interest in it because it looks like garbage to me. Hopefully, I don't know, I might be wrong. I may pick it up one day, but for now, even after almost 15 years of I guess it's been over 15 years with the Lunar series, I'm still content with just Lunar and Lunar 2. I do want to see I would like to see another re-release of Lunar 2, because we never have gotten it again, and that's sad, because this is a really good game, and unfortunately I don't ever get to see anybody talk about it much. But yeah, so I guess that's all I really got to say on the matter. I love this game to death. If you want to review, if you want to score, I'll give you one. For me, Lunar 2 is a 5 out of 5. There is no ands, ifs, or buts. The game hits all the right marks for me. The characters hit all the right marks for me. Beautifully written. The graphics, while they're older, I think the sprite work looks better in this game than the first. And the cutscenes, I think, still look good. The only thing I can say that I think is a downside in this is some of the voice acting itself. And what I mean by that is not actually the voice acting, the recording of the voice actors. A lot of times you can hear they sound like they're in a booth, and I think it's just because I've played a lot more modern games these days. You can really hear that they really do sound like they're in a recording room at the time. That being said, I think the performances are pretty good, all things considered. Because, I mean, considering the time this came out in, voice acting was a real prominent thing. So yeah, I think it's good no matter what, though. There in that area, it's just something I can put up with. But yeah, so overall, Lunar 2, awesome game. If you get a chance, try it out. And hopefully they'll release it on something, iOS, or maybe they'll re-release it on DS or 3DS or PlayStation or something. I don't know. It'd be nice, because we haven't released in years. But anyway, yeah, so there's my review on Lunar 2. Alright, so anyway, y'all take it easy. I'm the Renegade Gamer. I'll catch you later.